Hey guys, good morning. Maritza Willis live once again in mi cocina in San Antonio, Texas. Wanting to show you guys what I am prepping for myself and for some of my clients this week for detox. I don't know about you guys, but Thanksgiving week was not fun for me at all. So I am going to whip up a couple of dishes. I've already got most of it prepared and prepped and ready to start putting in the oven. But I wanted to show you really quickly what I've done. So I have actually taken, because we're on detox, we've got to go really lean, no salts, but lots of natural fresh herbs and spices. And of course we want to give that food some flavor and not have it be boring. So what I am going to show you today is I am actually going to be doing a stuffed cabbage, but I am going to use the same turkey that I am actually going to be using for my meatballs. So as you can see here, I've got these beautiful little meatballs, and what I've done is I've weighed each one of them out on my scale to be 1 ounce. So when I go to serve the meatballs, 3 meatballs is going to be for a girl, 5 meatballs is going to be for a boy. So what I did here, now my secret ingredient, whenever it is that I mush up, I guess, my turkey is fennel, is fresh ground dry fennel seeds and a little bit of, actually not a little bit, I don't ever little bit of anything when I'm going with dry spices, but what I've taken was Italian seasonings, parsley, fresh parsley, the curly leafy kind, some garlic powder, some onion powder, some basil. And I've gone ahead and I've kind of mushed all of that. No egg, no breadcrumbs, nothing like that. Just mush it all up together. I've already got some baking in the oven, and then you're gonna get these beautiful, beautiful little meatballs. The reason I do that is because over here, I've got my cabbage boiling. So it's an entire cabbage, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the leaves off. I'm gonna take one of those meatballs, I'm gonna stuff it, and I'm gonna make my own tomato marinara sauce, which is so easy to do. Basically just blend up some tomatoes with any spices that you want, and you're gonna use that on top as opposed to a spaghetti sauce. But the other thing is that I have this cool little contraption that I actually got at a white elephant Christmas party one year. And so basically, what I'm going to do, as opposed to using a regular spaghetti, I am just going to go ahead and whip this up. So as you can see, I'm just spiraling it, spiraling it, spiraling it, spiraling it. And what I'm going to do, I am going to make a zucchini spaghetti as opposed to a pasta spaghetti, because again, we're doing detox and I want to incorporate a good, healthy carb. It's coming, but I think this show just turned into an X-rated show. I don't know if you guys could see that. Oh my God. Never fails. That's the funniest thing. Look at this. What in the... Ain't that cute? Hello, hello, that kind of morning. So anyhow, so you're gonna have, so I'm not gonna throw this away because oops, oh my God, I just turned into Lorena Bobbitt, help me Lord. Okay, so watch. So now we're gonna use these for this spaghetti. You don't wanna cook them very long because they do cook up really fast. So I'm going to do a little bit of avocado oil with some fresh garlic. I'm gonna let that kind of cook down a little bit, and then I'm just gonna toss this in there for maybe a minute just to kind of incorporate those flavors, set it aside. That's gonna be our carb and our fat, and then I'm going to go ahead and utilize the meatballs on top with that homemade tomato sauce. Anyhow, I pray that this kind of helps you guys. I will see if I can show you what that finished product looks like in just a little bit. Have a great day. Hey guys, so I am back. All right, so I'm just going to quickly show you how I did this. So I've gone ahead and I have boiled the entire head of cabbage because what I want now is these tender leaves, all right? We're gonna go ahead and start peeling these off, and we've gotta be kind of careful because we want to try to keep them as intact as possible. As you can see, I'm having some technical difficulties. But nonetheless, you're going to want to just go ahead and take these. I cored the cabbage prior to boiling it. I find that it's easier when I start to actually fill the cabbage leaves. So as not to bore you, let me just go ahead and get a couple and let me show you what we're gonna do. So we are going to take the cabbage leaf and we are going to take, in this case, we're gonna take one of the meatballs. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna put it here, and I'm kinda gonna stretch it a little bit like so. And then I'm going to wrap this almost as if you were making a burrito. So you just put it like this, right? And then I'm gonna layer it in the pan. So once again, all you do is you take your cabbage leaf and you fill it, because remember I weighed these to be 1 ounce. So if you are one of my female clients, you are actually going to be getting 3, and of course my males will get 2. But I think what I'm gonna do is cut it in half so it doesn't look like there's 5 of these big, huge pieces on their plate. So again, you just take them. Now remember, these don't have any salt in them. Now, typically what I do, just so that you know, the exact same recipe, only I would have added some pink Himalayan sea salt and some cranberries. So if you're not on detox and you're wanting a fun recipe that is absolutely yummy, 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 go ahead and incorporate some dried cranberries into the meat when you're mixing it all up together, and do the exact same thing. Absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish this up, throw them in the oven, and I'm gonna start on the meatballs, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do in a sec. Be back. Alrighty, so here we go, guys. I've gone ahead and put that yummy tomato sauce that I made over them. I'm now going to bake these for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. So I'll come back in just a little bit and show you what they look like. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the meatballs and show you what those look like in a sec. Hey guys, so I almost forgot to tell you. So I went to H-E-B, and I don't know if you've got a grocer or a Whole Foods where you could actually do this. But what I've gone ahead and done is at the, where they've got all the seasonings and where you can grind your own nuts and stuff, what I've gone ahead and is I ground some pure almonds and made this beautiful almond butter. And so behind me in that same water that the cabbage was boiling in, I've gone ahead and I've got about 24 eggs boiling. Because again, this is detox, so we need to be ready. We need to have snacks or meals ready to go, and I love this as a breakfast. So what I do is I take an apple, slice it up, and take a tablespoon of this almond butter, put that aside, and 3 egg whites. So I'm ready to go. So remember, as you're getting into your meal prep phase, think of fast and ready ideas that are already, you know, here on our sites, ready to be given to you so that you can take advantage and not have excuses. What happens to a lot of us is when our sugar drops because we break through homeostasis, and you're not prepared when your alarm goes off in your clock, like in mine, to alert me that my 3-4 hours have passed by and it's time for me to eat. If that alarm sounds, or if you get hungry and you're not prepared, your body, because it's going to start to then burn muscle, it's going to crave sugars. And then it never fails that you are right in front of a hamburger joint or a taco joint or something that's just going to give you that quick fix, and then you're going to be so upset with yourself and you are going to say, I will start tomorrow. No, be prepared. And so that's what I'm doing. Not only am I meal prepping for my clients, I'm meal prepping for myself. So I've got apples, I've got, you know, nut butters, and I've got the eggs that are boiling so as not to be wasteful and just to actually save some time. I had some cabbage left, so I'm actually going to dice that up because I'm going to make a turkey and cabbage goulash that's just going to be packed with veggies and lots of flavor. No salt this week because again, we're on detox. So I'll be back in just a second to show you my meatballs. So hey guys, I am about ready to whip these babies up. This is the zucchini, right? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take some olive oil, and I am going to take some fresh ground garlic. And all I wanna do is just go ahead and heat this up. Let me go ahead and do that now, just so that you can see. So you're gonna do, oh, that's about maybe a whole tablespoon, right, of olive oil. And now I am just gonna go ahead and add the garlic. And all I want is for that garlic to infuse that avocado oil. Now, the reason that I use avocado oil is because it has a high heat temperature, and so it'll sustain high heat. And of course, I don't want it to burn when I'm putting in my noodles. So I am just gonna go ahead and stir this up. And what you want to do is you want to quickly cook these up, right? All right. And so I don't want to do this for more than a minute, because one thing about zucchini is that it literally cooks up so fast. And I don't want my clients to have a soggy spaghetti. So that's it. Just get those flavors into the zucchini and done. You want to take these suckers out. They have that yumminess. Ouch, that wasn't the brightest thing to do. All right, so just go ahead and take these out, and let me show you how I'm going to plate this. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so ready to plate meal number 1. I'm so excited. All right, so I've already gone ahead and cooked up this beautiful zucchini, right? Made it into some spaghetti. Oh, you can smell the garlic, guys. All right, so if they get really long like this, go ahead and cut them. Get a knife. Go ahead and cut these so that they'll plate nicer. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're going to remember, this is your carb. So anytime that we are looking at putting something in our mouths, we want to ensure, and I'm putting them in these little trays, okay? So we want to ensure that we're doing a protein, a fat, and a carb. So this has a little bit of fat in it, because remember that I used the fat to saute these noodles. So I'm going to go ahead and put this, and over here are my meatballs. And remember, I weigh these prior to cooking them, so I know that each one of my little meatballs is exactly 3 ounces. So I am going to, let me move this out of the way so you can see. I'm going to go ahead and top this. So remember, this is for a boy, and this is a deeper dish, so I know it's for boy. So this is going to be 5 meatballs, which is going to be 5 ounces. And then I've already got my beautiful homemade tomato sauce that I made earlier. And so again, all I did was took tomatoes and some basil, some fresh basil, and just any spices, garlic, onions, and I ground all of this up and then just kind of cooked it up a little bit. And then I am just gonna top this like this with this beautiful homemade tomato sauce, which is also a carb. And then what I like to do, hang on, I'll be back. Where is it? Shoot, I lost my parsley. All right, so I lost my parsley. So what I would do, and I'm sorry, but what I would do is I would chop up some fresh parsley, and I'm gonna go look for it in a second, and I'm gonna sprinkle it on the top. So first dish out the way, super fast, and you're gonna see in a minute because I'm actually baking those cabbage rolls in a sec, so I'll be back in a minute. So I found my parsley. So you see, this is the curly parsley. So all I do, it's already been washed. I'm just going to take a little bit of just the little crowns, and I'm going to sprinkle that on top, and it just gives it this yummy flavor. So there you have it, voila. Beautiful lunch or dinner, super easy, easy. All of this was made in less than an hour, and I've already got about 6 dishes that are coming out, all just utilizing things that I was able to incorporate and turn into something else. So I'll be right back. Hey guys, so they are done, and they smell so good. So watch what I'm gonna do. Remember, detox week. Otherwise, I'd maybe pairing this up with maybe some yummy quinoa. But I am going to take, remember, each one of these has exactly 1 ounce of protein. So in this case here, we're going to do 3 of these beautiful little cabbage rolls. And I am going to go ahead and I've cooked up, I had some zucchini left and I thought how fun would it be if I took a little bit of olive oil, give it some fat with some garlic. I blended that up in a blender and made it into almost a paste, rubbed it on the zucchini, and then topped it off with some black pepper and some tomato basil Mrs. Dash, which is so hard to find, but it's so delicious. So voila, here you have it. Yummy, fast, delicious, ready to go. So anyhow, I hope this kind of gives you a little bit of ideas of what you two can whip up during this week. I know, like I said, I'm actually making a chicken soup back there as well. And a little trick, if you ever want a thickening agent, but you don't want to, of course, add flour, it's detox. So what I chose to do was go ahead and boiled up some carrots, some celery, some poblano peppers, a little bit of parsley and onions, garlic, boiled all that up together and then put it in a food processor. And what it did was it made a paste. And so now as I'm making my chicken soup, it's almost gonna be like a chicken tortilla soup. I've gone ahead and boiled the pieces of chicken breast with that. I've gone ahead and I've shredded it up. Let me show you what it looks like. So I now have, can y'all see it? It's gonna be so good. So I am going to go ahead and add some fresh kale to that. And we're gonna even whip this up a little bit more with some antioxidants, and I'm going to go ahead and put some cilantro. Now, I am going to make this more on the version of a tortilla soup. So I'm actually going to be adding a little bit of cumin, a little bit of black pepper, and cilantro. If you wanted to take it more on the Italian flair, then what you could do is add a little bit of Italian seasoning with some basil and some fresh parsley. So pray this helps. I hope you have an amazing day. If you have any questions, hit me up. And remember, burn fat with Ritz. Bye guys.